Richard Turpin, the notorious highwayman and horse stealer, executed at Tyburn, April the 7th, 1739, and buried in St George's churchyard. That wasn't put there till 1913.
Yeah. Oh, why would you have something that's 3 times bigger than every other one? It's not...
Because it's Dick Turpin, of course. But
yeah.
Why not? But I'm surprised. I can't believe it's council houses all around it. It's amazing. Oh, it's worth seeing, I think. Anyway, the best of it is that after they exhibited him on the Blue Boar, they brought him here and buried him, and the same night body snatchers came and dug him up. The same night.
Really?
But they were caught taking it to a doctor's house, because doctors would pay anything up to 2 guineas. That's £2, 2 shillings, old shillings, for a fresh body. They had to be fresh. They didn't want decomposing bodies, they needed fresh bodies. And often doctors themselves would take part in the digging up of the bodies as well. They would pay the hangman sometime to deliver a body to them as well. So anyway, they brought him back here in a cart covered in straw so nobody could see him, and they filled the grave with quicklime to burn away the body quickly so the body snatchers wouldn't come back and dig him up again. But you see, fascinating thing about this body snatching business is people were terrified of their bodies being dug up and dissected. The families were terrified of their loved ones being dug up and dissected, because they knew, again, that they wouldn't be at rest. Because you obviously got at rest means staying at rest. Not only one night buried and the next night dug up and then the body cut up into pieces, that means the body wasn't whole, and that meant on the day of judgment, no material resurrection. So basically what they used to do in graveyards, either people would sit for anything up to a fortnight looking after their loved one's grave, or they often built watch houses, little houses where the family could shelter with windows looking at the graveyard, so they could shelter in there to protect their loved ones against body snatchers. But as in the case of Mr. Turpin here, no one was here, because obviously he was from Essex, and the very same night the body snatchers were here. There'd usually be at least 2 men with a little boy. They had wooden spades, so that when they dug into the ground, their metal spades wouldn't clank against the stones, so wooden spades so that they didn't make a sound. They had a rope with them and a sack. So they knew where the head was, because obviously everyone's buried, I don't know, is it east, west, whatever. Everybody knew where the head was. So they didn't dig the coffin out, they dug down to where the head was. They dug a chute straight down, 6 feet down to where the head was, and if you were in a coffin, right, then they smashed the lid of the coffin. And we're not talking of oak coffin, we're talking of any old scrap wood that anybody could get in those days. Smashed the head where the coffin was, and then they sent the little boy down the chute with a rope to clear away all the wood and tie the rope round the neck of the body. And then the little lad came back. Can you imagine the nightmares those kids would have had, being sent down the chute to tie the rope round, and then the 2 guys got on the pulled the body up out of the coffin. It was illegal to steal the clothes. It was illegal to steal the shroud, but it wasn't illegal to steal the body. So they stripped the body, put the clothes or the shroud back into the coffin where it was, filled the hole up, wrapped the body in a sack, and off they went to doctor, whatever his name was, that paid him up to 2 guineas. And this happened up and down the country. And funnily enough, the report I read today about it, it actually stated Turpin's naked body was covered with straw in the car on the way back here. So in other words, his clothes are in the coffin still. And he's still down there now, so they say. Yeah. And his ghost doesn't have the decency to haunt this graveyard. Come on, common.